This webinar is how the internet works. So normally when the agenda is like from mobile or laptop, so if you do like www.google.com or Facebook, anything, right? So how internally it routes, how the packets internally goes via different devices, and then finally it reaches that, and how will get that back. Okay, how basically internally the devices will work, how that internet works. So these are the table of contents which we will be discussing in the session. So what is the internet, the definition, and how the devices are interconnected. So what are the various devices we have, how they are interconnected, what are the medium between them. And to understand those, how they connected, how they communicate, we need to know networking terminologies which used in this. So I will briefly explain those. So the next thing is DNS. So let's say, so whenever you Google google.com, how that host name will convert to IP address. And then from that IP address to get that MAC address, how we'll use that TARP protocol here, address resolution protocol. So how that address resolution protocol will be resolved, and the routing. So routing is how the packet goes from one routing device to another routing device using IP routing here, means IP address to IP address. Just I name it like first host name to IP address, then IP address to MAC address. That is for ARP. Once ARP is done, we'll go for routing IP address to IP address, and we'll see how routing look like. So we have some images, and then the final subnet where that. So let's say server we are trying to get it, or any device we are pinging, right? Once it reaches the final subnet, again how to resolve that MAC address of that. So the basic goal of this content is how google.com internally works. If you know that, then definitely we understood this well, how internet works. So, and lastly, we'll see that, so what are the career paths in this area? What are the opportunities? So what we should learn to get into this career. Okay, let's start. So what is internet? So internet is like a computer networks. Each device in the internet, right, is interconnected, and they use TCP/IP protocol to communicate between those devices. So let's say I taken some few devices, like say let's take host A here. It's like just laptop and some server, and we have routers in between. So whenever we want to communicate, definitely we need to have this TCP/IP protocol should. I think we should might learn in this our academics. So sometimes router, any device in the internet should run the TCP/IP protocol, but some devices can run up to a network layer only. So let's say routers only deals with up to network layers, and some devices, let's say the base station, what we'll say in whenever our phone is connected to base station, right? So that will work only at the interface level, means wireless medium level. It works up to data link layer. So like based on the device, the functionality, then TCP/IP, it works on different up to that layer. So there are different layers here: physical, data link, network, transport, application. So this TCP/IP stack should must to communicate between these any devices. It has to work on some protocols. Okay, next. How devices are interconnected. That means how devices, between the devices, how it will be interconnected. What is the medium between those? So most likely we use that internet nowadays with mobile, right? Mobile is using the 5G technologies, LTE, 2G, 3G, or 4G. Now it is 5G is coming, right? So that is one medium, wireless medium. Sometimes we use Wi-Fi network. And so let's say in office, labs, while studying in the labs, right? So we will be connecting Ethernet cable. So this is one medium. So once it connected to Ethernet cable, or once we use that Wi-Fi here, right? So it has to connect back to some switch or router. So where this again, this is how in the switch it looks like, and then this is called what we call as a fiber optics cable. And this fiber optics cable, it is connected to across devices in across geographical locations. These devices, these live devices will be connected across countries. How they will be interconnected? So it is not via satellite. So it goes under cable, means under sea. So these are the fiber cables present in the sea. So all devices across geographical areas, right? It will connected via sea, means under sea the fiber cables will be installed. So this is how it looks like internet if you see in this figure, right? So it's under sea cables it's connected. See, all the network devices are connected by Ethernet wireless and optic fiber technologies, Ethernet or wireless. So this wireless is Wi-Fi or LTE, 2G, 3G, 4G, or optic fiber technologies which the switches and routers are connected in between. So please note this network devices are not connected via satellite links as of now. Okay, so next is providing how all these will be connected. So some are like with wireless, some are with wired, some of this fiber optics, underlay C. How it will be looks like this. So just briefly, I said this image. If you see in this image, we let's say here the laptop and some mobiles will be connected Wi-Fi. So this is an access point, which we will call as a Wi-Fi router. So these devices will be connected to this Wi-Fi, this router via Wi-Fi. And again, this Wi-Fi router will be connected to a switch. And some devices. So some devices may be directly connected to the switch. And typically this switch is connected to a router. From this, you can see the ISP will start like normally in office or in home, we'll take some telecom provider, right? Like Airtel, Jio, those things. So those ISP, that internet service provider will start from here. So they will have the switch and then they have the router and they have this one we will call as a firewall, so that any DOS attack, any miscellaneous attack, somebody will spawn the packets, expose the packets, and then to obstruct this network, right? So that thing will be solved. This like a security, we can say. From this router, it will connected to this internet. So this is a cloud. So in this internet, we can see it will go via undersea cables, and so many routers will be there here. And then finally the router. So let's say it will mostly see the data center, what we'll call is here. Most of the times, whenever we search any Google or Facebook.com or YouTube, most of the videos, those will be reside in the data centers most likely. So that data centers is protected by some security, the connectivity to the internet. Again, one router will be there. This is how the typically internet looks like. Like whenever the packet comes from ping from Google from here, right? Let's say go by all this way and then go to here, and then all this way again back to here. And this part is the LTE infrastructure area or 5G. So this again mobile connected to kind of these are like base station, LTE base stations or 5G, 3G base stations. This example of LTE, we can correlate with 3G or 2G, similar lines. One C node B, it is like here, node B, what we call as a base station. It is again connected to all these devices are backhaul devices. So again, this up to this only this wireless communication. Again, these are all our wide connection. These are like MME, HSS, S gateway, P gateway, and then finally from P gateway, right? It is connected to internet. So finally, either the medium is Wi-Fi or wired, all those stuff definitely has to go to internet. I can go to router here and then google.com. Okay, so this is how the devices in the internet, right? In the live, how it looks like. So now we will see whenever if you ping Facebook or google.com, how it works internally. Okay. Yeah. Before that, we might have seen this here router and switch and laptop. To understand well, right? Another how it communicate, we need to know some terminologies, networking terminologies. That's where we'll go in this slide. So what is host? Any device which sends or receives the traffic. So that means any device which initiates the traffic, or else any device at the end, it receives the traffic. Let's call the host. Let's say our laptop, our mobile phone, which initiates the traffic, right? Which opens that Facebook or some app. So that we can say one host. So next is IP address. So IP address is so every device in this, right? So a router or a switch or any this laptop. So it will has one IP address, so that it should know one numerical value to communicate with other devices. So that's what we call as an IP address, which is numerical identity of the host or any network device in the computer network. Then MAC address. MAC address is unique identifier assigned to port of that host or network device to communicate within IP network. So MAC address is a unique address given to a port. So there is a slight difference here in IP address and MAC address. So MAC address is given to the port. So some devices, let's say a router or switch, it has multiple ports. So here it has multiple ports, right? Each port will have one MAC address here. And there is possibility IP address might be a single one for all this. So IP address, we can say in TCP IP stack, right? IP address will come in the network layer and MAC address will come as a data link layer. So both, to communicate any device, right? To go into any device, we should definitely know these two. MAC address also we should know, IP address also should know. So to communicate two devices, right? So MAC address and IP address should definitely know. Next, switch. What is switch? A switch is a layer 2 device which forward the packet based on the destination MAC address. So switch works on the layer 2. So layer 2 is again in TCP/IP protocol suite, right? It is a data link layer. So only, as I said previously, right? So MACs will be working in the data link layer, that is layer 2. So switch will be working on based on the MACs. So it won't look up on the IP address, means it won't look on the network layer in this. So let's say again, go back to this. So we don't look in on this network. We always look in the data of this MAC address. Network layer, we have the IP. So based on the MACs, right? So whenever the packet it receives, it has that MAC, destination MAC. So packet will be filled like a destination MAC, source MAC, and what is the IP, source IP of that device which is coming out. What is the destination IP? So these are the 4 tuples we have. So based on the destination MAC, it will forward the packet to correct to host where the MAC resides. That's what switch will do. So next thing is router. So we'll get all these things when in further slides. We'll get more doubts if you have, right? We'll get resolved. So router is a layer 3 device who routes the packet based on the destination IP address. So now any packet will have definitely the destination IP, destination MAC, because these two are required to communicate to other devices. So whenever any device, it reaches to that one, whenever the destination MAC matches that device MAC address, and destination IP also has to match to that device, then only that packet is destined to that host or router or any device, any computer network. Until it matches the both, right? It will do like switching, routing, all those stuff. So whatever the device which works on the IP lookup, all the stuff, destination IP, it uses the router, which uses the MACs, right? We should tell as a switch. Next is gateway. So gateway is a router. This is also a router functionality. Exactly, it does the router functionality, but what it does is this router stands between two networks. So that means a router has multiple ports. Each port will be connected to one network. So one more thing we should get point here is, in the internet, everything, it will be in a kind of networks, a kind of multiple networks we have. What we'll say a sub network. So multiple devices, it will be in same sub network, and like that multiple sub networks will be there. So let's say we'll segregate like So we have, if we can compare to different districts in the state, right? We have different districts. So whenever we do the postal, right? So based on the district, we'll send that uh, the postal to that district particularly. Like that, we have the subnet. We have the sub networks. So each network, right? So the device may be present in the same network. The device may be present in the network beside our network, or maybe this device will present a far away wherever it has to go. Some 10 to 10 networks, it has to pass that packet. Like that also, it may be possible. So how that packet will go from one network to another network? There should be definitely one gateway between two networks to pass this packet to another network. That's why we need to have a gateway. Okay. So that terminology put aside. So let's come back again. Whenever we give that any website, any web link, right? Google.com or Facebook. So how it works is we know the host name, like that is easy to get that. Once that is done, once host name is given, how we need to resolve the IP address. So that means the Google server, definitely it has to consume one IP address. It has one IP address. We need to get that IP address from that host name. How we will get that? That is via DNS. So this is like domain name system. So this, what is domain name system is, it is like a decentralized naming system. So that means, so we will put, like whenever we put some data or YouTube, we can put one, like we create one website, and then if you put into public, right? So we need to get host name, and then we will give that IP address for that. So that IP address to host name will be bound, and then it will be stored in some servers. And this server will not be located at only one place. Again, it will be decentralized. That means, so this domain names, right? So it will be scattered across various servers. It not be located in one server itself. That's why the name called decentralized. So once this servers, right? So this ISP, we need to get the DNS server. So whenever we ping anything, right? So once the DNS server will get that names, we need to resolve that host name to IP address, and once we'll get that name. So we use the protocol DNS to get that. Okay, so here we can say DNS used to convert host name to IP address. This basically will convert OPS. So this where will DNS is there. Yeah, this is already discussed. That point. This is how it looks like. So let's say we can say this one is our device, and this is how our ISP, and this where the servers will be there. So most likely some devices, let's say some servers or some devices, they have, once DNS is resolved, right? So they will put into a cache. There are multiple caches here. Once DNS is resolved, we'll put into our local cache. So next time, whenever the same host name will give, right, we'll get from the local cache only. So that means whenever we resolve, right, we will put into our local cache. Okay, yeah, google.com has that IP address. Let's say 101.1.1.1. So that IP address we'll put into our local cache. So now next time new one, right? If it is not local cache, and again it will ask that our ISP, internet service provider, they will have also have local cache. If they found there in the local cache, immediately they will resolve. If not that, again it will goes to DNS servers. So like that, in a recursive way, right? It will get that DNS. Okay. Next point. Once we get that IP address, so how can we send that packet to IP address? So this IP address may be present in our network, so or maybe in another peer networks. Maybe it has to go far away to different networks. It has to go and then find that network. So if it is, let's say sometimes if it is in our network, how can we find out that IP address? So as we said right previously, definitely to communicate to other device, we should know the MAC address. So because at the layer 2, definitely MAC address of the device, of that port of the device, we should know. Only getting that IP address it will not enough to communicate. We should know the MAC address also. How we can resolve the IP address to MAC address. So we have a separate protocol for that, which we call as address resolution protocol. So we use that protocol to resolve the IP address to MAC. Yes. So here we can say communicate send packet to the device, need to know the MAC address of the device. And one more thing, IP address anyway will get from the DNS. From IP address, we need to figure out the MAC address. Further, we have that ARP protocol to find the MAC address using remote host IP address. ARP resolution is limited to one broadcast domain or subnet. Means, so we can find out that MAC address of the IP address which consume that IP address, right? That we can find out that MAC address in that network only. So we cannot find out whole internet, whole world, whichever the device is. We cannot find out that. Only in that network only. In the network only, this ARP resolution is limited. That means in that broadcast domain. Okay, this is one figure how we resolve that ARP address, ARP resolution in a network, in subnetwork. So here in this one, right? If you see, we have multiple computer devices. One is server, workstation server, again laptop, some printer, and we have one router also. So if you see clearly here, right? Each device will have one IP and MAC address also. That definitely should be there. If you want to participate in the network, right? IP address and MAC address should be there. So here also there 10.00.11, 12, and 10.13, and 14, 15, and 16. And MAC address is also a different MAC address. MAC address also should be unique here. And router also, you should have that IP and MAC address. Here it is not there, but you should be having. Now, so here if you see this, right? So in this subnetwork, here the server want to communicate to IP address 10.0.0.14. So what it will do is it has to communicate to 14, right? So it has to know that IP address using DNS. So now you need to find out what is the MAC address. So it will say this guy is sending one ARP request. So in the red color, right? Red color line, what do you say? So this ARP request is sending, it is sending to all the devices. It's sent to all the devices. So this packet ARP request, what it does is, whoever having this 10.00.14 IP address, reply me with MAC address what you have. So that's what it will tell. Now it will send to all the devices in network. If you see the red line, each packet, right, it goes to here, this guy, and to this workstation, this server, and finally router also it will send. So each one got that one packet. So let's say this guy sees that, okay, first ever, whenever it sent the packet, right, the destination MAC it will be like FFF, so that it goes to all the devices. Internally, these devices will look into that packet. And if you see the destination MAC is FFF, it is a broadcast. So it will treat it as a broadcast and then check that if it is an ARP packet. So then it will see the what is the IP in the ARP packet 10.00.14, and then it will check its IP. It matches or not. If it is not matches, no, silently it drops the packet. It won't reply at all. So like this here also, it will check all these IPs matched to our whatever the IP in the top request, if they're matched or not. Here it also not matched, here not matched, here not matched. Here it already checks here. It will check here, it is matched here. So once it matched, okay, yeah. So it matched to here, then it will reply for that ARP request like, okay, I have the MAC address. So then, so this ARP reply, right? So 10.0.14 is at 0044. This is an ARP reply packet. So whatever it sends with the green line, right? It sends as a reply. It is there. Once it gets the MAC address, right? So what it will do is, it will send the packet now. Now to send the packet to 10.0.10/14, right? So it needs the MAC address. Now it has both MAC address and the IP address. Now it can happily send the packet to this guy. So now this guy replaces the destination MAC previously with FFF and replace that MAC address of here. And then finally it sends the packet to this guy. This guy will reach this packet. So if that server means that whatever we want to communicate, right? If it is in the same network now, it is easy. But what will happen? This IP address, it is in a different network. How can we resolve that MAC address? Because ARP request, ARP, this protocol, right? ARP, it works in this network only. What happens if this IP is in another network, right? So for that, what we'll do is, so let's say let's assume that we have the destination IP in not 10.10.14 or some 100.100.100.12 like that, which is not in the network, right? So what it will do is it sends us an ARP here. So we don't get that ARP. ARP is not resolved. Everybody silently drops. Okay, this IP address is not mine. Then it waits for some time. ARP request will time out. Then what it will do is, oh, so in this network looks like that IP is not there. So we need to send this packet to another network. So to send to another network, right? So what it has to do is it has to send to a default gateway. So as I said previously, right? So this gateway, which is connected between two networks. So there will be one device which is connected to another network. Let's say here the router is there, right? It has multiple ports. One port will be connected to another network. So it will send directly to that router. Okay, the IP address looks like is not in this network. Can you forward to another network? That's what it will send to the default gateway. That's what we call as a default gateway. So what we call as the default gateway is whenever this ARP is not resolved in our local, right? We need to send to a default gateway. Once it goes to default gateway, you need to find out this router may have multiple networks, network 1, network 2, network 3. So which network you need to send? Again, you use some lookup into this router, which network to communicate. Sometimes we have 3 or 4 networks, but it doesn't sometimes network 1, right? Those packet, if you send network 1 also, maybe that whatever the IP address, right? It is not connected to this network. Maybe another network it is connected. So that it has that capability to find out which network if you send the packet, it can reachable. That will be there in this router. That we will see in the next slides. Okay, this is a continuation what I explained in this figure. Let's go over one by one. So once ARP is not resolved, then destination IP address might be present in another network. Once it's not resolved, right? That IP is not present in this network, but in another network. To check that IP address reachability presence in another network, packet needs to be sent to default gateway to forward the packet to another network. So once it's not present, to send to another subnetwork, right? There is one device which interconnected to these networks. That's what we call as a gateway, which we call as more like default gateway. Only one default gateway will be there for each network. Then again, the ARP for the default gateway will resolve to send the packet to default gateway. Yeah, this is also one more important. What we say is, so normally whenever we get the default gateway, right? So we will know the server, this guy has to configure, if ARP is not resolved, it's sent to default gateway. So default gateway is configured here via the IP. So means whenever the user has to configure, if you don't get an ARP resolved, you share to the default gateway and it will configure the default gateway IP here. Means it knows the IP again, the default gateway, but it doesn't know the MAC address of that default gateway. And to send the packet to default gateway, right? Definitely you should know the MAC address of again this default gateway, right? So again, to get that MAC address of this default gateway, again we need to do the ARP resolution. So we know the IP of the default gateway, but it doesn't know the MAC address. We need to find out via ARP protocol again. Again, it will send one more ARP request to the default gateway. And again, because this default gateway is in this network only, it will send ARP reply and then it will get resolved. And finally, the main packet, right, which has to send that Google, pinging that google.com, right, it will send to this guy. Okay. So now we have a doubt like every time, let's say first it resolved this 10.10.14, right? Next time after some time, again, one more packet coming destined to this IP, right? What will happen? So we'll store one cache here, ARP cache. means for this IP, what is the default gateway? Like that, what is the MAC address for that? Like that default gateway also, it has resolved and then put that MAC address again here. So like that, for IP address to MAC address resolution, we have one table. It will be stored here. So whenever it not, if it is not there in this ARP table, right, it will send the ARP request. And if doesn't require, doesn't belong to this network, no, it will send default gateway. That anyway, we have the MAC address there.